Hello everybody, welcome to the Football Daily Weekly. Lovely to have you with us as always. Laurence is here and Adam is here, and we are talking most underrated players. Again, this will divide opinion, but that's what makes it interesting, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to kick off and say the first comment is, without a doubt, the most underrated player in the world is Marco Reus. Marco Reus, German international, playing in the Bundesliga, of course. A lot of suggestions for him. I mean, people do rate him, and he's a great player, but do they rate him high enough, Adam? Some do, some don't.
I feel like he's pretty fairly. I mean, he doesn't get the spotlight perhaps that like Lewandowski got last season. You know, he was obviously celebrated as Dortmund's best player. So in that respect, and I feel like he's rated perfectly. I feel like everyone knows he's a really great player. He's always linked with Manchester United, Arsenal.
I think everyone knows who he is, and everyone knows that he does a good job for his side, and you know that he's an influence, and I think Champions League and the league, he influences both those teams. So all the points that have been made, it makes sense that he's just rated.
Here's an interesting one: Wayne Rooney.
Oh.
Is Wayne Rooney underrated? The man who is reportedly going to get 300 grand a week soon enough. Is he underrated?
It's difficult. He definitely divides opinion, doesn't he?
Some may say he's overrated.
I really flip-flop on Wayne Rooney because I think he's underrated when he has a great game, and then he's overrated when he has a bad game. All right?
I understand what you mean by that.
He's very changeable in that sense. But I mean, you look at his influence on United earlier in the season, and he was very influential out on the pitch. He was getting assists, he was getting goals, and when they didn't have Robin van Persie in the team, they certainly was very influential. But I think underrated is a strange way to put it.
Draxler, Arsenal.
No, everyone thinks he's
everyone
knows he's amazing.
Pedro scored some crucial goals for Barcelona as a big game player. He is that.
Yeah, he doesn't. Again, it's.
Do you think people sometimes say he's underrated because he doesn't get mentioned as much?
Yeah, it's players who don't get in the spotlight as much. They do their job, and they don't.
He's always in the spotlight.
Yeah, I mean Pedro is a fantastic player.
But you wouldn't go who the best player of Barcelona. I don't know if people would single out Pedro.
I mean, you always tend to think Messi, Xavi, Iniesta.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
People may not say Pedro. Mohamed Salah. Chelsea seem to rate him.
And he's rated highly in Egypt.
Yeah, very highly.
But maybe he's underrated in the Premier League.
We'll soon find out.
We will soon find out about that one. Too early to tell. Arturo Vidal of Juventus, Chilean international. Very important player for Juventus.
There was quite a lot of suggestions from him, actually. Top 10 players in the world. He was in there.
I think he deserves to be in the conversation at least because of the way that he plays. Someone said in the comments that he's a box-to-box midfielder. And I think that makes you a good player, doesn't it?
It does make it a good player. Yeah, I think perhaps he is underrated. People don't talk about him as much, and we look forward to seeing him in the World Cup. Gary Cahill.
It's a Chelsea. How isn't it?
Do you think?
Yeah.
Again, spotlight sort of thing. He doesn't quite get the credit perhaps that he deserves.
Scores goals too.
Yeah.
Yeah, threat from corners. That's what makes you a good centre back.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Underrated?
Yeah.
Slightly.
From corners.
Okay.
Yeah.
João Moutinho is one of the most underrated players in the world, Portuguese international.
When the playoffs with Ronaldo, obviously he took all the headlines because he scored that hat-trick.
Moutinho,
yeah, those assists from Moutinho, unbelievable.
That's right.
He's also underrated because a lot of people believe that every season he was going to sign for a Premier League club, and every time he was underrated to sign for that club. But someone was always rated more.
Milner and Zabaleta.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely Milner. People do not rate him at all.
Yeah, they don't. They think he's a very functional workhorse type player, which
I think he showed against Munich this season,
away. He's got a bit to his game, Milner. I think, perhaps.
Fortunately, because he plays for Man City.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Zabaleta, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And what about Jan Vertonghen, one of the best centre backs in the Premier League?
I think people think he's very good, don't they?
Yeah, I think he's fairly rated.
Yeah, everyone realises.
Luka Modric must be one of the most underrated players in the world. I mean, he was certainly highly rated when he played here, in England, and he's gone to Spain, and he's putting in performances. He's a vital player for Real Madrid now.
He had that bad first season, didn't he?
He did.
Was it the worst La Liga signing ever or something?
Ever?
Yeah, it was something crazy like that.
I think that was just spite towards. That was a Mourinho team, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And now he's in a system which possibly serves him better.
Indeed. Any suggestions from yourselves?
Danny Welbeck.
Danny Welbeck, as always.
Again, yeah.
If you have any more comments for most underrated players, do get them in. Adam and Laurence, thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure. And we'll see you next week.